In Philip José Farmer's The Mad Goblin, Doc Caliban and his forces are at Stonehenge in a three-way battle with the soldiers of the Nine and with the forces of the renegade Nine member Uvalde. Caliban confronts two of Uvalde's henchmen, Carlos Cobbs and Barbara Villiers. "You stupid mortal!" Cobbs screamed. "What do you care what happens to your friends if you can live forever? Listen, I can get you the elixir. I'll give you the formula. I know you've been cut off and that the aging has started, and you'll die in a few years because you'll never have the elixir unless one of the Nine gives it to you." "One of us," Caliban said. "What's your part in this, Cobbs? It's obvious you're hand in hand with Uvalde. You were just pretending to be prisoners of Uvalde for some reason I can't comprehend, unless it was to infiltrate into my organization and catch us all when you had us cold." "Time's running out," Cobbs said, his voice cracking. "Would you throw away eternity, man?" Caliban reached out and pulled Cobb's large nose loose. It came off with a slight tearing sound, and the rest of the pseudo-skin over his face followed. When the wig came off, the Cobbs he knew looked out of the fog. Barbara Villiers said, "For God's sake, Caliban, we don't have time to play around. Get us out of here, and then we'll give you whatever you want. The elixir, the map of the caves of the Nine, and the trap set in it. Even some of the addresses of the Nine, though they won't go near there anymore, of course, unless they think we're all dead." "For two who are just candidates, or maybe just servants, you know a great deal," Caliban said. "Old Uvalde must have taken you into his deepest confidence. By the way, where is Uvalde? He wouldn't have let you go running off while he fought a rearguard action. Not old Uvalde. He may be a mad goblin, but he's not that mad. Unless he thinks you double-crossed him, figuring to blow him up with the rest of the Nine, and then you two would take over. Did you plan on carrying out his ideas, releasing the photoplankton bomb? Or did you plan to kill him so you could stop that but still get the elixir and his wealth?" Cobbs bent over so he could get his face closer to Caliban's. His features were twisted with agony, and the moisture on his face seemed to be even heavier than the fog droplets could account for. "Get us out of here, and I'll tell you where you can lay your hands on Uvalde." "You'd betray him?" "Why not? He'd betray anyone if it meant saving his life." "Where is he?" Barbara Villiers' voice cracked too. "We can't tell you at this moment. He sent us in to do his dirty work for him, but we'll show you where you can ambush him. Just get us out of here." "What kind of bomb?" Caliban said. "It's a heavy irradiated plastic box containing the explosive in a liquid form. The dial and the time mechanism are all plastic or hard wood too. I set it to go off in 15 minutes. The mechanism pulls a pin out of a vial of plastic containing the gas that'll mix with the liquid and set it off. There won't be anybody living left within half-a-mile radius, and it'll kill many outside that area. The stone monuments of Stonehenge will be knocked down and maybe shattered. Old Zuzaz's body and his coffin and stones he set up as a temple for the sun god himself will be gone, along with the rest of the Nine. Even old Anana, who said she was going to defeat death." "Who's fighting the Nine out there?" Caliban said. "Or are they blundering around fighting amongst themselves? Grinnith can't be responsible for all that." "I left most of my men to hold them, keep them occupied." "Double-crossing your own men, too. Well, that's to be expected, Uvalde." Trish and Barney said, "What?" Villiers gasped. Cobb's jaw dropped. "He can do what I can do," Caliban said. "He has enough control of his muscles to pull his spine and add or subtract inches to his height. I've done it plenty of times myself. It takes much practice and knowledge, but what I can do in my short lifetime, Uvalde has had many lifetimes to learn." He pulled on Cobbs's nose, and when that would not come, pulled on the skin of the face and then on the dark hair. "That won't do any good, you fool," Barbara Villiers said. "That is his own skin and hair. The old goblin you knew was the false one. The wrinkled skin and the red-shot eyes and the long white hair and beard, those were fakes. They were true enough once, but when he regained his youth—" "Shut up!" Uvalde yelled. "We haven't got time to carry this deception out," Villiers said. "Besides, there's no sense in not telling him that we can have the rejuvenation elixir." He won't leave us out here to die if he knows that he has to take us away to get the elixir. You should have known that, you greedy old man. It was our main card, and you wasted too much time holding out. It may be too late because of your stupidity. You can't talk to me that way, my dear Countess Cleveland. Caliban's eyes went up. He said, then Barney was telling the truth, not kidding you as he thought he was when he said that you must be the Lady Castlemaine, whose petticoats hanging out to dry made Peppy's flip. Charles II's mistress, mother of his 3 sons. You did not die, as history said, but you used makeup to look as if you were getting older. And then you pretended to die, and some women died that you could be buried. And you, yes, Barbara Villiers snarled, yes. How many candidates have done that? Hundreds, thousands? You and Granith are my own descendants. My grandson had a child by a Granith woman. So I'm your many times great-grandmother. For the sake of us all, for the sake of eternal life for you and your friends, and for me, your ancestress, get us out of here. You will not only have eternal life, but eternal youth. I appropriated your notes after you turned against us, Uvalde said. I knew you'd been working on rejuvenation, and I hired the best scientists in the world to develop the elixir from the information in your notes. One did develop it, and I got rid of him in an accident. In 2 years' time, I became a young man again. The wrinkles and the white hair and the ropey veins disappeared, but I used makeup so that the others would not know. But must I talk away our lives? Let's get out of here. Plenty of time for talk later. The old man, now turned young man, knew that even if he was taken out of the explosion area, he was in grave danger from Caliban. But he was wily, and he had survived so many millennia by being more tricky than his contemporaries. He must have something up his sleeve besides sheer desperation. It's too late, Barbara Villiers wailed. We can't get away in time now. Then give me the combination, Caliban said. Why not make him do it, Trish said. There was the sound of running feet nearby, a twang, a cry, and a man slid across the cold, wet winter grass on his face. He stopped so close to Caliban that he could see the crossbow bolt sticking out of the back of his neck. We might not even be able to find the bomb, Caliban said. Quickly, Uvalde, the combination. It does have a combination to turn it off, I hope. But if I tell you, you'll kill me, Uvalde said. The voice of Cobbs had become the familiar, deep, growling voice of Uvalde. The panic and the cracking were gone. I promise to release you and Villiers, Caliban said. After you give me the formula, of course. But my word is not to be given lightly and will not be broken. I will let you two go free, give you 12 hours head start, after which I will try to kill you, Uvalde. Villiers can go with you if she chooses, in which case I'll try to kill her too. But if she wants to work with me, and I decide I can trust her, well, I don't like the idea of breaking the neck of my own grandmother several times removed, even if she's so distant I couldn't possibly have any of her genes. Talk our lives away, Villiers said. Uvalde, tell him the combination now. There isn't much time left. He doesn't even know where the bomb is. He may not be able to get to it in time. The Mad Goblin by Philip José Farmer.